Thank you for joining today. Um, I've been wanting to sit down, kind of chat, I guess, a little bit more about, Suncadia and kind of bring it to the attention to, clients and just people who are maybe not as aware. I mean, even though Suncadia is only, an hour and 15 minutes away from Seattle, it's amazing to me. Just kind of saying, oh, I'm heading over to Suncadia. Well, where's that? What is that? How many people don't really know? And then the people who know. So, I know that there's been kind of this push also, what we've noticed with downtown living and, our clients and even ourselves, due to COVID, right, that we've been stuck in our homes and, we necessarily don't want to get up and leave kind of the urban core or, Seattle area, but we want a place that we could escape to that is an hour and a half away. And really there's only two options. You have the islands, which then you're kind of subject to the ferry schedule, or you have kind of Suncadia as just right over the mountains and kind of that first spot where you get kind of into the desert air in eastern Washington. So I kind of just wanted to have you speak a little bit about the community for those who might not know that much about it. And then we could kind of touch on, the investment aspect of things. Obviously, we're homeowners in the lodge, which you helped us with years ago. And it's been very fruitful for us. And we love having that kind of escape. And then just most recently, obviously I'm working with some clients that are looking to purchase townhomes and other people that have inquired about potentially looking here in the future too. So I kind of just hand it over to you and kind of go through your spiel in the community and what you love about it.
Yeah, no, that sounds great, Ashley. Thank you. And thanks for putting this on. Yeah, it really has been fun to see just that proximity to Seattle and that I-90 corridor. We're right there at exit 80. I mean, there's so many great things to do over here, but just that easy drive, I think really is the number one, perk of being here. And you just take exit 80. It's always been traditionally one of the first spots where the sun opens up when you come come over the Cascades. And then, yeah, we've got 6,400 acres, and the Clallam River splits right in half. So you've got just a beautiful river, 1,200 acre river corridor along that river. And then our property goes almost all the way up to Lake Clallam, which a lot of people are familiar with.
Yep.
And just within Suncadia and Tumble Creek, which is part of Suncadia, the private side of Suncadia, we've got 3 golf courses, 2 of them public. We've got 3 swim facilities, over 40 miles of hiking trails. We've got Swiftwater Cellars Winery, which is always popular, as well as some other restaurants and coffee shops. So certainly no reason to be bored within the resort, but then we use the term up here a lot, kind of base camp, just because if you look on a map of Suncadia and exit 80, within about an hour drive radius, there's just so many things to do, whether it's popping down to Yakima for wine country, getting on the Yakima River for floating or fishing, going over to Leavenworth for the day, downhill skiing in the winter time. And, that's something we kind of forget here too. There's so much, bike riding and hiking and golf here right now, but just the winter activities, it really is a 4-season community. We've got the tubing hill with the rope tow in the winter, groomed cross-country ski trails, snowshoeing, the nearby Washington State Horse Park does sleigh rides, and then you've got that great access to downhill skiing too. So yeah, we feel like we're in a good spot.
Yep, it's kind of all 4 seasons really, and actually I think we spend more time there in the winter anyway. It's just nice to kind of get over there, and it's like cool and crisp, and you get those bright sunny days with the snow on the ground, and just kind of has a really cozy feel to it. But definitely all 4 seasons of recreational activity.
Yeah, you're so right. I mean, we talk to a lot of owners, and they really do find themselves coming over even more in the winter, just getting that vitamin D, if nothing else. If it's raining in the winter in Seattle, it usually means it's snowing over here, which is a lot more fun to play in than the rain. And then if it's cloudy over there in the winter, it's usually sunny here. So yeah, it's great to be able to drive 80 miles from downtown Seattle and just have such a different climate.
Yeah, it really is. So I know the most recent pool facility was the Nelson's Preserve for the Nelson's Farm Pool. And so
Yeah,
that,
this is the third summer that the Nelson Farm Pool. Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah.
The summer?
Yeah, this is the third summer that the Nelson Farm Pool has been open. Can you hear me okay? I know we're cutting up there.
I
Yeah.
think it popped up, but we're good now. But 3 years went by just like that.
Yeah, so this is the third summer, but gosh, yeah, my kids love that place. It's got the lazy river. It's got the, the poolside bar and grill for the parents. It's got the, hot tub, fire pit. It's so beautiful out there at the Nelson Farm. So yeah, that was a big amenity addition for Suncadia. Yeah, and that's part of, I'm sure we'll touch a little bit on the different club options, but Suncadia is made up with a few different optional club memberships, and one of them we call the Suncadia Club, which is the two swim facilities. The Suncadia Swim Facility, which is the one that most people are familiar with the water slides and the fitness area and indoor-outdoor pools and hot tubs and steam room and sauna. And then the Nelson Farm Pool is now part of that same membership. So
Nice.
that was a huge deal, just to kind of spread out the crowds a little bit, and we're fortunate here, being in phase 3, we've got pools open. It's 50% occupancy, but that seems to be working pretty well. They've got different time blocks for people, whether it's members or guests that rent through Suncadia also have access to the pools through a resort fee.
Yeah. So let's dive in, I guess, for first off, for anyone who's just visiting, and let's say they want to rent a house or rent at the lodge or whatnot. I guess, going through Suncadia and being able to book, directly, they do have access to all those amenities. That's kind of like the baseline of people who want to just kind of get out of the city quick, go explore, get out, get fresh air. But then when you enter home ownership, you have these different memberships, and let's kind of talk about that and what that means.
Yeah, and then kind of touching on the rental real quick. I mean, that is a great way for anybody that hasn't been here yet. There's a great vacation rental program, so that's a great way to kind of pop over, stay a night or two, immerse yourself a little bit. If you rent through Suncadia, which is actually managed by Hyatt now, about a year and a half ago, so you can get some Hyatt rewards points, and you can get through a resort fee. You can also check out the swim club. So that's a great way, whether it's a condo or a home. And then as an owner in Suncadia, we do have a homeowners association, but fortunately the club memberships are actually optional. So you can choose to join the swim club or choose not to. You can upgrade that to the golf club, which includes the swim club. Over at Suncadia, we do have the 2 courses that are public, so you can pop on those as well. But they do some wonderful like golf member events, member events, member guest events. So yeah, again, those are optional memberships on top of the HOAs, which you kind of learned the other day, Ashley, and from owning in the condos. You have multiple different associations here with the different pocket neighborhoods that go towards the road maintenance and parks and trails and snow removal in the wintertime.
Nice. So I got a question here. The swim club is considered the fitness package?
Yeah, we oftentimes call it the swim fit, membership, but and the membership department calls it the Suncadia Club. But yeah, there's actually a social element to it also, normally with a really fun happy hour event that they do every month called the Meet and Mingle, which is free appetizers and free drinks, and they do different community hikes and excursions. But yeah, oftentimes we do call it the Swim and Fit Club because it is that fitness center and the 2 swimming pool areas.
Nice. So being that that's optional, then I guess you have, no more homeowners dues. Do you want to touch on that now, or do you want to kind of dive into the different projects that are kind of going on?
Yeah, I think just important to know for everybody that there's kind of those different tiers of homeowners. Like if you, like Ashley, you're a good example. You own in the Suncadia Lodge, so you're a member of the Condo Association as well as the Suncadia Residential Association. So you have kind of that blanket Suncadia Association that's all the common areas, those parks and trails and roads that I mentioned. And then within your due structure of the condos, you've got elevators and hallways and great rooms and exterior maintenance of the condo. Yeah. and same with like the townhomes that you've explored. Those have their own HOA for some landscape maintenance and road maintenance, as well as that umbrella of the Suncadia Association. But yeah, I don't know that we have to get into too much detail with the 14 different associations, but just know that is there, and everybody pays at least $175 a month for those common areas.
Yeah, it's so gorgeous. Got to keep it up.
I did want to kind of just touch, certainly the dues and the memberships, want to get into the different communities. Certainly Suncadia is exciting, like you said, with the Nelson Preserve pool. Right outside of that pool area is the River Ridge neighborhood, which is part of Suncadia. That's been real popular lately. Just an amazing trail system, that paved trail system that connects back into all the Suncadia amenities and the winery, as well as just some amazing trails that drop down to that river corridor, to the Clay Elum River. So that's a beautiful area. New neighborhoods, new offerings there, new construction offerings from some of our featured builders, which is exciting. And then Tumble Creek, you touched on a little bit, and that's an area that your family has looked at as well. But yeah, it's some really exciting things going on over at the private side of Suncadia, which is Tumble Creek. They have their own private golf course that's just been so busy, since everything opened up statewide and the golf courses. But they're building a new kind of 3-acre lake down there called Paintbrush Lake, and that's going to be, where you can paddleboard and hike around. So that's under construction right now. Should have water in it this fall. And then they're building what they're calling the Great House, which will be, really amazing amenity that people have been looking forward to, that will have a restaurant, a large restaurant and bar area, just some amazing outdoor seating that looks towards the Cascades. And then downstairs, just a lot of great family amenities. They're going to have a bowling alley, an ice cream parlor, a theater room, craft room. Up on the main floor, they'll also have their golf simulator, a dedicated room for that. So that's stage right now, almost sheetrock stage. So that's making great progress. So Tumble Creek's just seeing some wonderful activity over there. Like you and I were talking, Ashley, there's not the vacation rental aspect over there. And, so people that are looking for a little more privacy, still just amazing trail access, less crowds at the golf course and the pools. That's been a great fit for people.
Nice. So it'd be secondary homeowners or primary homeowners primarily over there.
Yeah, and kind of touching on that a little bit, just with kind of what you're seeing in Seattle too. I mean, normally our home ownership over here is maybe 20 to 30% full-time owners. But for the last 3 or 4 months, as things have been kind of closed down in King County and Pierce County, we've seen that shoot up to more like 70% full-time ownership over here. So it'll be interesting, just as more people are working from home and maybe doing some homeschooling, it'll be interesting to see how that shakes out. I don't know, are we going to be 50-50 now in this new normal? But it's really exciting. And we kind of saw kind of a timeline of events, where, things started getting shut down in March, right? And just everybody that had a place came here, a place or a condo, or they were full-timers all of a sudden. Yeah. And that was just such an amazing bright spot, just with everybody here at the parks and on the trails, and maybe grabbing some takeout from the winery. The winery was doing takeout coffee and, meal service, and it was just amazing. And then, things really started picking up from a real estate perspective kind of mid-April, just people, ready to start doing something again and kind of finding that second home. And then, going into May, we got into phase 2 and we reopened our office, and that was another big step. And being on site again was wonderful. And then June 1st was when the county, Kittitas County, started allowing vacation rentals again. So, and that demand just picked right back up where it had left off. So that's been incredible for the people that, are, like to see those rental checks every month. That's been really strong here for now, almost going on 2 months now. Like the lodge, for example, this weekend, and is 94% occupancy this weekend.
Wow.
So yeah, it's just amazing how that's just bounced right back.
In the last 3 months, you've just kind of seen an uptick in demand, probably because, again, priorities have changed so much in the last 3 to 4 months. Again, with people wanting space, wanting able to work from home. So maybe, and even yesterday I went over there and back. It was so easy, an hour and 15 minutes in my car. I was calling people, on the phone the whole time there and back. It just went like that. So imagine if, people are living there as a primary home, right? Or let's say it is a heavy secondary, like a 3/4 secondary home, then they're able to pack their meetings that they need to be in here in like a 2-3 day period, during the week. And then the rest of the week they're living in Suncadia. So, I mean, I see that and I'm hearing that quite often. So it doesn't surprise me that you guys have been running around crazy lately.
Yeah, it's been fun. And yeah, I think a lot of more and more people are going to be coming over here and commuting, which is cool. I mean, even just in, a few of my associates, a couple of them come over from Renton. One of them comes over from Issaquah Highlands every day. One comes over from North Bend. But yeah, easy enough to go the other direction too. And yeah, easy drive. A lot of people are working from home right now, but and like you're seeing in King County too, it's just everybody's kind of reevaluating what home means,
Mm-hmm.
and what you want in that home, whether it's the home office or the bonus room for the kids or whatever. And even before all this, what's always been impressive to me in Suncadia, and we've talked about the vacation rental program before, but if you look at like the homeowners that also rent their place out, on average, most of them are using their place 60 nights a year and then renting it out otherwise. And you talk to a lot of people that aren't renting. I mean, they're using their place maybe 100 nights or more a year. So it is just such an easy drive. You hear the term over here a lot, frequenters, so they're not full-time owners, but they're over here every weekend. So yeah, it's so easy. I mean, I think about growing up in Montana, we drove an hour to go to the grocery store. So to be able to drive an hour to pretty incredible and still have a different climate, more space,
Yep.
and we're a phase ahead so far.
Good. So why don't we dive in, I guess, in pricing for the different condos, townhomes, and just what people could expect for single family and lots.
Yeah, no. And so it's exciting, I think, too, here in Suncadia and Tumble Creek. We've got anywhere from studio and 1-bedroom condos that can start in the 200s. We've got the 2-bedroom condos that can get into the 400s. The D in the 500s to 700s. The homes oftentimes are in the 700s and can go up into the $3 million range. I mean, there's some pretty tremendous homes right now in Tumble Creek in that range. So it's just a wide range. Same with home sites. You can get greenbelt, home sites that back up to the trail system in under 200. Golf sites usually are in the 200s, 300s.
So as I was saying, I guess about the townhomes, is it was really kind of surprising to see such a great price point on those new construction townhomes there that sit right by the lodge. So Corey, where we left off with you was I think we were talking about the golf sites basically.
Golf sites kind of in the 200s, 300s. View sites from the 300s up to $1 million, and trying to say also we're seeing about 100 homes built a year, so that is a real popular option for people to do kind of the custom homes, the land home packages. We have just a great selection of featured builders. You can actually use any builder or architect subject to design guidelines, but we have certainly some wonderful architects and builders that are real familiar with our design guidelines and permit systems up here. So we try to point people in the right direction, and yeah, just some great options for the custom homes too, and different ways to really streamline the build process as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did while you were going in and out there, kind of talk about the townhomes that I saw yesterday, and I was just again amazed at the price point for the square footages and the location in which they are actually in the community as well. They just seem kind of like no brainers. If owners, and let's say 600,000 for what is 1,100 or 1,200 square feet, right? For 2 bedroom plus den, and brand new, right smack dab, right by one of the swim facilities. I guess that one's called Cascade Reach, that community there. Um, and then you think, okay, well, wonder you purchase it, you use it for a couple months, and then maybe you put it in the rental pool, right? And like you were saying, some of them that are in the rental pools and owners, they actually use them for 60, probably about 60 days. And I think that might be the required cutoff as far as how many days a year that an owner can use the place if it's in the rental pool. But the one thing that I think is so nice, because our condo actually is with Suncadia, is that it's so completely hands off. Like you're not worrying about maintenance calls or, having to worry about it being cleaned, or, I mean, literally it's so hands off. The only thing you see is the check that comes, in your bank account every month, and everything's very professionally ran, and very consistent from house to house. Cause we've stayed in a number of homes, and also other condos in the lodge too, that are in the program. And I just think that they just do such a good job, managing it.
Yeah, that is the common route that people go if they're going to do any sort of property management program. Suncadia just has the on-site staff, the on-site managers, on-site housekeeping, on-site maintenance, and then their actual reservation team is actually in Bellevue. So if you call toll free, that goes to their Bellevue office. But yeah, they've got everybody right here, knocking out the housekeeping and maintenance, and just, yeah, super easy. And that's what most people like. Most people have plenty to do otherwise with their whether it's kids or work or playing around, that they don't necessarily want to manage a couple of rental properties over here too. And we do see a lot of owners that have multiple properties in Suncadia, whether it's maybe a home plus maybe a property or two that are more rental properties, just because they like the investment. They love Suncadia. They believe in it. It's tangible. They can go check on it. So yeah, we have a lot of property owners that have multiple properties. I mentioned to Ashley earlier. I had a few appointments yesterday. All three of them were existing owners that are looking for additional properties. So that's always real encouraging to see too.
Yep. So, the other thing, the location also, it's not just Suncadia by itself. The one thing I like is you have the little cute town of Roslyn, you have Cle Elum, you have, a little bit more. So Suncadia is very all-inclusive, but honestly, it's like 10 minutes away, and then you're in the little historic town, right? And Roslyn itself, over the last, 8 to 10 years, has completely changed and has, a lot of charm, but also it's a destination, I think, for a lot of people. Like Heritage Distillery is downtown, and of course you have the Brick, which isn't the Brick, like the oldest saloon or tavern in all of Washington. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up Roslyn. I mean, that's so true. People just love Roslyn, and it's really just right over the hill, like from that Nelson Farm Pool and River Ridge that we talked about. I mean, our trail system actually has a great connection to just downtown Roslyn. But yeah, you got the distillery, you've got the Brick, you've got Base Camp Books, which is just a great coffee shop, restaurant, bar downstairs. Roslyn Mexican Grill, just so much going on there,
Yeah.
And just easy, walk or bike. And we're seeing more and more, and kind of that same model as Sun River down in Bend, is just people love to just be able to park their car when they come over, let's say Friday, not touch their car until they go home. So just the connections that Suncadia and Tumble Creek have to Roslyn, and between the amenities where you can just walk and bike everywhere. We see those e-bikes everywhere now. I mean, those are popping up a lot. But and then even with the second homes, to some of your points that you've made, you hear a lot of people that they'll just go straight to work or school on Monday from Suncadia. So, and that even just little things like that makes the weekend even longer.
Yep.
And just, pop right over to Bellevue or Seattle or Issaquah from Suncadia Monday morning.
Good. So is there, like, as far as expansion, is there anything else on the horizon in terms of facility wise, or another little pocket neighborhood or something that you think is in the near future?
Yeah, when you look at our maps, there are future neighborhoods that will come up in the future. A lot of it, is kind of that, kind of past that Nelson Farm pool area. There's some, wonderful new, builder plats that will pop up and new custom home sites. So that's exciting. And we're real fortunate with the ownership group, just the reinvestment in amenities, whether it's the Nelson Farm pool or the Great House or Paintbrush Lakes in Tumble Creek. And that's just, that's going to continue. I mean, they're already talking about doing another park in Tumble Creek that will have pickleball and basketball court, probably a little BMX pump track, kind of a play field. So that's on the horizon. There's still talk about, here in Suncadia, kind of that need for the village area. Again, I kind of mentioned Sun River, being a sister property, kind of that's kind of the future of Suncadia looking ahead. But the village area is between the lodge and the swim center. Yep. And the idea is to have a post office and a general store, and then, possibly other amenities in the future, another restaurant, things like that. And actually, I'm not sure if you've been in the inn, the Stovehouse Grill, since they've remodeled that, but that was, a $1 million remodel on one of our restaurants, and that was just, incredible. So there's some wonderful culinary options here at Suncadia.
Yeah, that's great. We did have another question about just vacant lots and the timing requirements for having to build and start construction. I am not aware of any time constraints, but.
Yeah, that's a great question. So yeah, there's actually no time frame in which you have to start construction. You pay homeowner dues, whether you have land or the home, you pay that regardless, and you can actually join the membership even with land. So, that's fairly common where people will, buy a piece of land and join the membership right there on day one, start using the golf or the pools, and kind of spend more and more time over here as they gear up to build. So, and that's a great way to start, making relationships and friends over here as people transition over here as a second home or a full-time resident.
And you could do that in Tumble Creek too.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I know a few people that have just bought the lots purely for the golf membership.
I think there's more members than homes right now over there. Yeah, people are just so anxious to buy into that membership for sure, with that, the pool and the golf course. And really, Tumble Creek is, one of the top 3 courses in the state. So it's a tremendous course. And then the 2 Suncadia courses, which you've been on those, tremendous courses too. So you can mix it up and have great golf experiences all around. And same with the pools. One day you might be in the mood to go down the water slide. The next day you want to do the lazy river. Yeah. The next day you want to do the splash pad. So yeah, it's just some great variety, and same with the trails, both in Suncadia and just just some amazing outdoor pursuits in this area, whether it's hopping on Lake Cle Elum or snowmobiling up past Cle Elum in the wintertime. But yeah, you don't ever have to do the same trail twice if you don't want to.
Yep, that's good. And then you also have the pools at the lodge, and then also at the trailhead. Condominiums too. So those are 2 other options that are private. I guess the lodge really is not, but the trailhead also has their own pool.
So, like you, for example, owning in the lodge, you have a pool at the lodge, and then you also have the option to join the swim club membership for the other pools. And then, trailhead is another condo option. Sometimes we call that a little bit more of the traditional condo option in Suncadia, because it doesn't have the concierge and the valet, but they have their own pool and hot tub as well. That's part of their homeowner dues structure, and then you have the optional membership. So really, regardless of type of property, whether it's a studio condo or a home site or a home, you have the same membership options for that Nelson Farm pool and the Suncadia Club pool.
Yep. Yeah, and I think the trailhead condos are just more, I have heard good things because they're, I guess, people who want a little bit more quiet, peaceful, maybe a slower pace, I guess. I've heard that from a couple people. And then you have the lodge, which of course is bustling. And you have, it's more of a lodge environment, and you have concierge, like you said, and the valet and all that, and also the spa. And then of course the townhome options that are right around it too. So
yeah, it's been fun. Those condo options are enough different that usually people aren't really torn between the two. They usually like one or the other.
Yeah, for sure. Is there anything else that you think we should kind of touch on as far as the community goes, or?
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good overview. Certainly, like I said, if there's any links, whether my contact information or, the HOA website or anything, I'd be happy to share that you could post and share with everybody. But yeah, if anybody has any questions, I could try to answer. And
then your two offices, the one in the lodge, and then which you're in now, but then the big sales office is open too right now, isn't it?
We have two on-site offices that are open 7 days a week. We've got the main office right as you come in through Suncadia, and then a little satellite office in the lodge. So yeah, I'm actually sitting up at the Suncadia Lodge right now, and then we have a little bit of a satellite office there at the entrance to Tumble Creek as well. So Tumble Creek is gated, so you have to know the right people or be with a real estate agent to be able to get through. But we do have a great little office there at that entrance as well.
Nice. And then your guys' business hours are normal, so if people are visiting and they want to pop in and say hello or kind of chat with you guys, just 9 to 5?
9 to 5, 7 days a week. And, certainly we're oftentimes around outside of those hours. But yeah, happy to assist any way we can.
Corey, thank you so much for doing this. I just think it's really kind of informational and great for people to kind of become more aware of what's in their backyard. I'm a huge advocate for Suncadia because it's such a breath of fresh air when you get just literally an hour over the mountains and you're just like, you're out of kind of the little city hustle, but then you could come back so quickly, like you said, on a Monday morning or, even same day. There's just something to be said for the change in location, but also just the feeling you get when you're on site and at the property. So one more question. And it says, do you provide any notice ahead of the lots becoming available to purchase before they hit the market?
We try to, when there's a new release coming from the developer, there's usually, between social media, emails, the company usually spreads the word pretty quickly. And then there's a sampling on the MLS as well, which would show up on our website or your website or others.
Yep. And then people.
So it's similar to kind of a builder plat, where a builder might have 40 homes, but they'll list a few of their models on MLS.
And people, if they want to follow you on social media, do you want to spit out your handles?
I don't even know what they are, actually. I think Corey at Suncadia on Instagram, and then just Corey Atherton on Facebook. But yeah, appreciate all the support there for sure.
Yeah, good. All right. Well, thank you. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I know it's gorgeous blue skies over there, probably, right? Just like this.
Yeah, yep. It looks just like the picture. Yeah, it's we're loving it over here for sure. It's been definitely feels like summer now.
Good. Well, thank you. And our family still knows you as Mr. Suncadia. So for always will be Mr. Suncadia.
Yeah, we hope to see you all soon. And yeah, thanks so much for putting this on.
Yep. You have a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you soon.